known what Bonnie needed. But as a man, I didn't know that touching, holding, and listening were so important to her. By recognizing these differences, I began to learn a new way of relating to my wife. I would have never believed we could resolve conflict so easily. In my previous relationships, I had become indifferent and unloving at difficult times, simply because I didn't know what else to do. As a result, my first marriage had been very painful and difficult. This incident with Bonnie revealed to me how I could change this pattern. It inspired my 7 years of research to help develop and refine the insights about men and women in this recording. By learning in very practical and specific terms about how men and women are different, I suddenly began to realize that my marriage did not need to be a struggle. With this new awareness of our differences, Bonnie and I were able to improve dramatically our communication and enjoy each other more. By continuing to recognize and explore our differences, we've discovered new ways to improve all our relationships. We've learned about relationships in ways that our parents never knew and therefore could not have taught us. As I began sharing these insights with my counseling clients, their relationships were also enriched. Literally thousands of those who attended my weekend seminars saw their relationships dramatically transform overnight. 7 years later, individuals and couples still report successful benefits. I receive pictures of happy couples and their children, with letters thanking me for saving their marriage. Although their love saved their marriage, they would have divorced if they hadn't gained a deeper understanding of the opposite sex. Susan and Jim had been married 9 years. Like most couples, they started out loving each other. But after years of increasing frustration and disappointment, they lost their passion and decided to give it up. Before getting a divorce, however, they attended my weekend relationship seminar. Susan said, "We've tried everything to make this relationship work. We're just too different." During the seminar, they were amazed to learn that their differences were not only normal, but were to be expected. They were comforted that other couples had experienced the same patterns of relating. In just 2 days, Susan and Jim gained a totally new understanding of men and women. They fell in love again. Their relationship miraculously changed. No longer heading towards a divorce, they look forward to sharing the rest of their lives together. Jim said, "This information about our differences has given me back my wife. This is the greatest gift I could ever receive. We're loving each other again." 6 years later, when they invited me to visit their new home and family, they were still loving each other. They were still thanking me for helping them understand each other and to stay married. Although almost everyone would agree that men and women are different, how different is still undefined for most people. Many books in the last 10 years have forged ahead, attempting to define these differences. Though important advances have been made, many books are one-sided and unfortunately reinforce mistrust and resentment towards the opposite sex. One sex is generally viewed as being victimized by the other. A definitive guide was needed for understanding how healthy men and women are different. To improve relations between the sexes, it's necessary to create an understanding of our differences that raises self-esteem and personal dignity while inspiring mutual trust, personal responsibility, increased cooperation, and greater love. As a result of questioning more than 25,000 participants in my relationship seminars, I've been able to define in positive terms how men and women are different. As you explore these differences, you'll feel the walls of resentment and mistrust melting down. Opening the heart results in greater forgiveness and increased motivation to give and receive love and support. With this new awareness, I hope you'll go beyond the suggestions in this recording and continue to develop ways in which you can relate lovingly to the opposite sex. All of the principles in this audio have been tested and tried. At least 90% of the more than 25,000 individuals questioned have enthusiastically recognized